Good morning. Welcome to Crypto Charts Daily. This is the Crypto Charts Daily Report. Today is October 10th, 2025. And as you guys can see, Bitcoin is still getting rejected at highs. So we have some great technical analysis for you today. And guys, I'd just like to say, if you guys are just watching these for your specific coin, the technical analysis on your specific holdings, but you don't understand how to trade crypto and you still really can't take money from the markets consistently. You buy, price retraces 80%, you sell, price immediately rips up. If you're not understanding easy support and resistance, anyone can follow and understand. You guys should be watching this whole video because we do technical analysis on 15 altcoins and we get real in depth. So it's a really good mental exercise every day to do this analysis. Look at the charts, look at how the market moves. So if you're not paying attention, you're just not going to learn. And you're going to be stuck as that crypto investor that just can never make any money. Well, there's 16-year-olds making millions of dollars in Doge because they understand these few simple concepts that we go over every single day in our normal technical analysis. So enough yapping, let's get right into it. All right, guys, the market cap is still above 4 trillion, down slightly 0.66%. CMC 20 down 1%. Fear and greed still neutral. Altcoin season neutral. Interesting, after the past few weeks, we've been up in the 60s. People were expecting some sort of altcoin season. But again, guys, if you pay attention to these reports, we have been saying that we are trending and trading below resistance. So we are just downtrending. And then the average crypto RSI is neutral, slipping slightly. Let's get right into the technical analysis. Starting off the day, guys, with Bitcoin here. Let me just sip some espresso. I really noticed that towards, after the top three, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, the top three are like a warm up. Then we get into the altcoins. My brain really starts working. The analysis gets. But anyway, guys, as we can see, we are failing to close above these highs. I did say we need a close above this 124,600 to then go push to new all-time highs. But as you guys can see, these candle closes, the bodies of these candles are where the price or the day opens and closes here. And wicks are where price went. So price went up here, we got rejected and closed below the highs. So that's what I mean when we swept highs. We swept short orders that were expecting price to react from this order block, perhaps there. And now that we swept, we did call for the retracement back down into the support, back down into the structure. We could bounce something like this now on this support and resistance flip here. On this chalk, this change of character. Price was downtrending in the higher time frame support. So internally trending into higher time frame support. We bounce higher time frame support, break the highs. That's a change of character. Unfortunately, we didn't break the higher time frame highs, so that gives us our rejection. And now we did print equal lows here on the past two daily candles. And then we printed some nice equal lows here with yesterday's candle wicking on these equal lows. That's a good indication of a sweep. That price is finding support here. And if we close above these equal highs of 120.1383, we'll look for the push to these highs. But if we close below these equal lows on these daily candles of 123.85, we'll then go push to that higher time frame support. But again, guys, simple concepts like these, waiting for the closes above highs for your direction so you don't get faked out. How many people are going to buy all-time highs here and then price immediately reverses and they never go into profit? Well, this is why they're impatient. They're not waiting for closes. Same thing here. How many people are going to sell today or sold yesterday expecting price to break down strong off these highs, and then we start seeing support right as we get a bearish candle printed to break these lows? So we'll see if we break these lows over the next few days. If we end up holding these lows, we'll just look for the break of these highs, but I would expect price to close below them. Let's jump down onto the 4-hour time frame. And as we can see on the 4-hour time frame, price is just downtrending, but every break of structure, we get buyers here wicking price up, trying to push price back towards those highs. And again, if we close below this low here on the 4-hour of 12900, we'll look for the push down to higher time frame support. But if we could get the close above, I'm going to say 123,800 over the next few days, we'll look for the push to all-time highs. So as a recap on Bitcoin, look for the lows to break of 21,300 or 121,300, excuse me, to then go push down the higher time frame support. If we respect these equal lows here on these daily candles, look for this daily candle to wick and close bullish, and then we could push to highs. All right, guys, Ethereum, we are just still getting rejected at those highs, so we're looking for a break of these lows of 3,800. As you guys could see, we have a resistance level at 3,500. We break above it, retest, break structure, break those highs. We print a new high here, break that high. We could see buyers then want to buy that low. We see a lot of buyers for about a whole week here or more. And then they finally get swept, get broken, but we just return to that higher time frame structure, that higher time frame support. But with this break comes an internal change of character, internal direction change, because we broke this low and broke the support. But we did trade into higher time frame support. So the lower time frames here indicating we're shorting, higher time frames, we're longing, we're just trading in between those zones now. And because of this change of character, we then have resistance here, exactly like we saw. We come up, we sweep out the sellers that are going off this change of character. We never close above those highs, so now we are just looking for a push to those lows. And we will look for the test of that higher time frame support, a test of the structure again, to then go break past highs. But again, we're not bullish right now, again, until we close above this high of 4,700. XRP, unfortunately, guys, we talked about this, the retest of this support. Unfortunately, we closed below yesterday, so this 283 zone will become resistance again. We'll look for the test of this line here, of this resistance at 283, and then the push to break these lows. Again, previously we swept these lows, never closed below, so then price runs up to test these highs, couldn't break the highs, so now we're trading basically in this range here. But we use these support and resistances as direction, and we are closing below this now resistance. So we are still, unfortunately, downtrending for XRP, and we'll just look for the break of the 270 low, or we'll look for the break of the highs, or the break back above this 283 resistance to then flip it support, and then we'll look for the break of those highs. All right, guys, I hope the analysis on the top three wasn't that difficult for you to understand. I hope I did a good job of explaining internal price action, external price action, just to help you guys a little bit with your trading and make this video not so nuanced with just doing the same type of analysis every day. Starting off though, the altcoins with Binance Coin. Obviously, guys, there hasn't been much to say in the past few weeks with Binance Coin. We are at all-time highs. There's nowhere for me to draw previous resistance at. And so we will just look for a retracement down into some sort of structure to then look for a continuation to new all-time highs again. But yeah, we are just looking at this thing blow off. There's nowhere to really say right now that price is going to stop. But kudos to you again if you bought Binance Coin at the lows. All right, guys, Solana, we are getting rejected out of that order block. As you guys could see, the structure here broke that low on the lower time frames. Lower time frame trading here, but still effective. We're coming back up into that structure here at price melted off of. And we did say that we want to see a close above these highs to then go test this higher time frame resistance. But we are getting rejected out of the structure. So we'll just look for, obviously, a close bearish on the day to then go push down to this higher time frame support. Or we'll look for a close above these new highs at 237 for then a push up to that higher time frame resistance. Cardano, same thing, still getting rejected out of that structure here that broke past these lows and made price close below this support. So that flips resistance, and then we went and closed back above it. This is just acting as our area of interest here pretty much. But because of this break of structure to the downside, price closing below support, we did just get rejected out of this structure, and we'll look for price to possibly break these lows of 76 cents or test the support again. If we can manage to break and close above these highs of 88 cents, we'll look for price to then go run to highs. But again, guys, we're still trading, getting rejected out of this order block. And now for Chainlink, I hope, guys, you are starting to see a pattern here. You're starting to see how these coins move the same, how price is pretty similar on a lot of these coins. We have been uptrending here, testing obviously support and resistances. And now over the past few months, a lot of these coins have just gotten rejected off higher time frame resistance and now are accumulating into their support. As you guys can see here on Chainlink, we got rejected at that higher time frame resistance, and we're still uptrending. But internally now, and on the lower time frames, we are downtrending, as we can see this internal change of character that broke these lows here, trading into that higher time frame support that broke structure here and broke resistance. And now we are just respecting support, but now internally trading back up into that internal price structure that broke this low here. So again, we're waiting for a close above these $23 highs. Again, these highs that are getting rejected are now pretty much valid highs. If we break above them, we'll look for the run to test resistance or break highs. But if we continue to just get rejected out of this structure that broke lows and push price down into higher time frame support, if we continue to respect this and we close bearish on the day below these lows of $21, we'll look for the lows to break here and the test of this higher time frame support. Well, I hope this analysis isn't too confusing and I'm doing a good job again, because it seems like I'm a little all over the place this morning. But again, explaining these concepts are a little difficult because to me, I just understand them instantly. We could see that price never closed below these lows. Price never closed below the highs. We're just trading under resistance, but still trading within this range here. Because we're under resistance, we're just looking for the break and retest of this 40-cent resistance to then go push to these lows of 34 cents. If price ends up breaking above these highs of 41 cents, then we'll look for the push to higher time frame resistance, obviously. But again, guys, do you see how we're trading in between these highs and lows? And we do not have any sort of a direction yet. It's pretty much accumulation. The only thing we could use as direction is as this support and resistance, this higher time frame. Again, using historical price data, this higher time frame support and resistance. That's what's giving us direction. But if we did not have that support and resistance here, you could see how we are just trading in between these highs and lows. Again, guys, understanding these simple market dynamics, these simple market concepts are what separate a profitable trader from somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And it's why, people are like, oh my God, everybody always makes money in crypto except for me. It's because you do not understand simple things like this. It's almost like a language to the markets. I call it the language of the markets because, it is. It's like a language you could decipher. Once you know how to speak it, everything becomes simple. I don't want to curse, but pretty bad analogy there. Or metaphor. I'm silly Willy. Don't want to use the R word either. Anyway, guys, jumping into Avalanche, as we could see here, big blow off for Avalanche over the past few weeks, but we are just now accumulating, retracing probably into this higher time frame support, and we are just looking for the break of these lows of $27 to then go test that higher time frame support or return to the structure down here. If we end up closing bullish though, just look for the break of these highs of $31 for continuation to highs. But again, just trading in between this price structure now, these highs and lows. Hedra, again, how simple. Support price is holding the support, we break below it, we retest resistance, we flip it support, we test it support, boom, breaks resistance again, and then we break these lows. We actually close below these lows. So this is not a sweep anymore. This is an actual break of structure. When we close below structural lows, that's a break of structure. Trading below resistance, we called to the pip that retest of that resistance. Again, break of structure to the downside, testing resistance. And now we will just look for the break of those lows of 20 cents. And again, guys, it just looks like market structure here. Like this, it's exactly as if you've seen it on a tutorial, looked up just trading charts on Google or something. A stock image would look like this. I mean, it's so simple. The trend is so easy to understand here. And again, we'll look for the break above that resistance now to then retest. And we need to break these highs of 23 cents now, because that is now our valid high, especially if we get this break of structure. It definitely becomes a valid high, but we will just look for the break and retest to then go for all time or back to highs. Holy, oh man, I'm like trying not to curse, trying not to lose, trying to keep it professional today, guys. Let's clean up this mess on Litecoin. This is going to be another great example. I might just put this in a short. So if you're watching this short in the future, I'm doing the Crypto Charts Daily Report. It's where we do technical analysis on 15 plus meme coins, or it's where we do analysis on 15 altcoins every day, as well as the top cryptos. Structure cannot be more beautiful for teaching you guys market structure here. I mean, this is just ridiculous. As you can see, resistance, we break above this high, break above resistance, we test that resistance, it flips support, we break structure to the upside, we retest this order block, we retest this support, we see that price comes up out of that support, and then price sweeps early buyers out of this break of structure, but tests that higher time frame support again. And then we were just looking for price to either reject out of this zone here or break above. Over the past few days, we watched price get rejected out of those highs. I even think it actually was in a short. Price gets rejected out of these highs. And we were looking for the close and break above those highs, or for price to continue to close bearish to then go break those lows or test higher time frame support. But holy crap, over the past 2 days since Wednesday, Wednesday's candle again, or Thursday's candle, excuse me, broke above those highs, and we are just looking for a breakout now to those 144 higher time frame resistance levels. But wow, I was not expecting that after seeing all those wicks, and I did put out a short about sweeps and everything. So that's really interesting. Probably not going to clip this one in a short because that was disgusting analysis, not very good. But we called everything to the point perfectly. I think I just confused myself, get a little ahead of myself. I don't know why I'm doing this type of in-depth analysis this morning, but everything is so beautiful and so simple. If you could just pay attention and understand these things, you'll never be poor ever again, because you could just look at the charts and print money. But yeah, now guys, again, we'll look for how price reacts to these highs again, because these are our external highs. This is going to be a bigger break of structure. This is not an internal high. This is an external high. So this will be our bigger break of structure. And if we end up getting rejected, we'll look for the break of these now lows here, because again, we failed to break highs. We come down, we create lows. These lows broke the highs. That's what validates these lows now. So again, if we break below these lows of 115, we'll just go look for the break of lows. But price looks strong, especially when it just breaks through the liquidation like that. So we'll look for a price to continue to this higher time frame resistance. Oh, finally a pair I could just breeze through. Polkadot trading below resistance. We're just looking for that breakout to that higher time frame resistance at $6. Uniswap, another solid example. We broke below support. Again, we broke structure to the upside. Price returns to the order block. Last bearish, last bullish. We tried to hold, we broke, swept out all those early buyers here. And now we're just creating some sort of internal range here. And seeing that you've seen all these rejections here, we just need price to then go break above that $8.50 high. Price wicked. It tried to break above. Buyers were not strong enough. Sellers are stronger. They're pushing the price down. And if we close below these lows of 766 on the day, we'll just look for the test of that higher time frame support. If price can end up closing above these highs of $8.50, we'll then go push up to higher time frame resistance. ONDO Finance cannot break these lows of 86 cents. We've been talking about this forever. We are just trading within this range, but still trading below that psychological and technical resistance level of $1. So we just need to break above these highs now of 97 cents, break above the high of $1, the resistance at $1, and then we'll look for the run to highs. Or if we end up finally closing below, which at this point, I feel like we need a sweep here. We need a sweep of all this liquidity. If we end up closing below here, getting a dip, we'll just look how price reacts to lows, how price reacts to this higher time frame order block here. And we'll look for the test of that higher time frame support. Polygon got rejected at that 30 cents price level. So again, we just want to see price break past that 30 cents resistance to then go push to higher time frame resistances. For some nice gains there. But we are just sweeping out this structure, testing higher time frame support, testing out lows. So we'll look for the break of these highs of 25 cents to then go push up to 30 cents. Flare, unfortunately, obviously closed below that range, the lows of that range. And I did say just look for price to push down to this higher time frame support. This order block, unfortunately, we never really broke highs. But again, just look to see how price reacts to this order block or if we break these lows. But again, we're not really bullish until we get back above these highs of 2.5 cents. Algorand, just like the other ISO coins, XLM, XRP, we are just breaking below. You could see support, broke, resistance. By now, if you made it this far, comment crypto charts daily in the comment section below. Show me that you're an OG and you watch this far. But if you watch this far and you still don't understand support and resistance, you are an idiot. We went over it so many times. Support, broke, resistance, tested that resistance again. And now we will just look for the close above this resistance and above these highs of 23 cents to then go push to our higher time frame resistance zones. If we continue to get wicked and rejected, we'll just look for the break of these lows at 20 cents to then go play our higher time frame support. Quant testing that support, that Baroque structure to the upside. We did go down, liquidate the lows of that order block, and then we did attempt to change character here. We did close above, but immediately got rejected. So we'll just look for price to break these lows of 87 cents or push past these highs at 109 to test that higher time frame resistance. IOTA, same thing, just accumulating, can never break highs, will never break lows, accumulating within the support. And we need to see the break of these highs of 20 cents to then go push up to our higher time frame resistance. And if we continue to get rejected out of this order block, that Baroque structure here, we'll look for the break of these lows of 15 cents. And XDC, as always, looking to test that 6 cent support to then go push up to 10 cent, the 10 cent resistance. Anyway, guys, that concludes this episode of the Crypto Charts Daily Report. If you enjoyed this type of autistic, in-depth technical analysis, go ahead and share this video with your friends who also suck at technical analysis. Like the video, please, it helps a lot. And drop a subscribe if you want to learn how to be a better trader, or you just have or hold one of these coins and you just want to watch analysis on your coin every morning. Anyway, guys, this was probably the worst episode of the Crypto Charts Daily Report, but who knows? Maybe it will resonate with you guys. Maybe my explanations were good enough. We'll see when I'm re-editing this. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. But anyway, guys, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you for Monday's episode of the Crypto Charts Daily Report. Monday's episode is Meme Coin Monday, so we're going to do analysis on the top 3 meme coins as well. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, enjoy your weekend. Peace out.